This month, a nonprofit in West Michigan will celebrate their Spring Jubilee of Growth. For them, it's more than recognizing their staff and volunteers. It's a moment to reflect on the impact they have on a specific vulnerable population in our community, those experiencing homelessness. Community Affairs Director Casey Jones puts the Well House in our Connecting with Community spotlight.
Surrounded in sounds and signs of spring is a foundation of growth. A home on the corner of Cass and Pleasant in Grand Rapids, built on hope and sheltered in dignity.
And in the springtime, everything blooms and it does look a lot prettier.
But this is the one that started it all.
This is the one that started it all. This house is very special to us for, the passion that it represents by the person who actually created the whole concept of Well House.
Marion Clements saw the need firsthand in 1977.
This is one of my favorite photos of the founder.
She had been helped through it, and after buying that corner lot, she used what she had, a home, to give it to others who did not.
We recognize that the folks that we serve are our neighbors. They're our family, our friends. When Marion Clements opened this house in 1978, she opened it up to people from the community who were experiencing homelessness.
John Glover is the executive director at the Well House.
This is our footprint. You had asked where the houses are located, and this is where we're currently located.
He helps build on the mission that Clements laid the bricks for, providing permanent, low-cost housing to anyone experiencing homelessness for 12 months or more, regardless of race, gender, family composition, or background.
And we all know that when we have hard times, we can lean on our families, our friends, but we also know there's a limit. So you get hit one more time and everybody starts to kind of disappear because they have their own challenges as well. So the biggest misconception is that this happens to only certain kinds of people. Getting the message that this could happen to any of us is a difficult thing because who wants to think about being that vulnerable? But the reality is the people that we've housed over the years are people who work 40, 50 hours a week, have children, send them to school, and then they get hit with something that really just knocks them off their balance.
This is the Well House neighborhood at the corner of Cass and Pleasant, not just because that's where the original home sits, but because of their second home that was donated by the neighbor back in 1991, and the third donated by the city in '92, plus a fourth that's just down the street. In all, there are 15 homes with the potential of adding 4 more this year. They are all a representation and a reminder of the organization's greatest need: acceptance in their community.
The second greatest need is resources that are targeted towards expanding the number of houses that are available for folks in this income category. That's the only way to solve this issue, is to create more units that are safeguarded for a population that has a minimal level of income and to create permanency. So that piece about dignity becomes the norm rather than us having to strive towards it.
Through the work of partners, staff, and volunteers, the Well House rehabs rundown houses, turning them into homes for those in need. 2 of their most recent properties are LEED certified.
And we strive really hard to create a space where our tenants understand that we respect them and we don't see them as different from anyone else.
The homes are stepping stones to security in health, finance, jobs, and family.
Low-cost housing is not affordable housing. Those are 2 different concepts. And so while there are lots of affordable housing projects going up, and we need them to be sure, what we need is low-cost housing that is permanent, so that people who are of a certain category always have a place that they can afford.
Whether they stay for 6 months or 6 years, that moment those without are handed the keys to their place for the first time is the legacy that the Well House stands for: growth in the community through dignity and hope.
So it's an emotional moment because, again, it's a return to normalcy for folks, and it's a recognition that we see them.
For News 8, I'm Casey Jones, putting the Well House in our Connecting with Community spotlight.